Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. What kind of advice would you recommend for somebody who just maybe wants to, jump the entrepreneurship?
The advice to anybody I would give to jump on to being an entrepreneur is very, very simple, is find a mentor. Find somebody that has something you want and latch onto them. And that could be even without being an entrepreneur. If you want to be a professional hairstylist or a professional tennis player or whatever it is, find a mentor. Find somebody that can really show you the path and lift you up. That would be my biggest advice for anybody that wants to be an entrepreneur. I keep going back to people that's helped me, but even Les Brown. If you don't know his story, just Google him, look up some of his stuff, and his ultimate goal in life is he wanted to be a DJ. He wanted to be on the radio. So he went to the his favorite station and hung outside every single day until they gave him something to do. They kept telling him, leave. Finally, they were running late, so they got him to get the coffee for him. And now he's getting coffee for him every morning. And then one day the guy, he said was so excited because his Cadillac was dirty, and he let the guy clean his Cadillac. And, all of a sudden now is the right-hand man, and he's being mentored exactly what to do, word for word, step by step. So, I know in a lot of, depending on what you are doing as an entrepreneur, it might be difficult to find that mentor, but until you can find one, just study successful people online. Regardless what you wanted to do. So, yeah, that'd be my biggest advice I give to anybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty gold. Okay, so you kind of touched on this already, but what do you do every day to keep you growing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
and developing your skills.
And developing my skills. Well, really, I kind of did touch on that, is taking action. But I also feel that sometimes getting in a good routine of something that you're going to do is very, very vital. You know what I mean? Something that, I have my process where, I have the coffee in the morning. I made a lot of money through Facebooks, and I do a lot of business, so I always get on there, get back to my messages, check my emails, and I do have this little ritual that I do every day because, once you get, habits are one of the biggest things that form your success or your failure in life. You know what I mean? Even if you were, let's say, overweight, somebody might just have that habit of drinking their sodas every morning or getting McDonald's for lunch or fast food every day for lunch. And, just changing something habit that you're in a routine. A ritual, I guess you could say. If you want to be rich, you have to have a ritual, because then it almost becomes second nature to people, just like for me, skating. I have my things that I go, all right, another one would be golf. I was actually taught this, somebody that's absolutely changed my golf game within 2 weeks. And he just said, listen, change this, once again, going back to having a mentor. And he goes, now the things that you change, he goes, I seen you do it, do that step process every time. So every time I have a way I line up to the ball, the way I do this, way to do this. And I know something as stupid as that would sound, made my golf game go through the roof within 2 weeks of just practicing something like that. So, already, if you get to the office late and you're not on your schedule and doing what you're supposed to, it can throw you off a little bit, but I also believe you have to be somewhat of a chameleonaire. Chameleonaire, it's funny I said that, chameleon. But something that I practice every day would just be to do something at least every single day consistently. Success is really something I believe is, small acts or many acts performed every day consistently over a long period of time. The calls that you're making, or, even once again, going back to working out, doing your 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups, whatever it would be every morning, may not look like a difference today, tomorrow, a week from now, but all of a sudden in a month from now or 2 months from now when summer hits, all of a sudden you're looking in the mirror going, wow, man, I'm looking good, So, yeah, just something consistent that you do every single day.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just have 2 more questions, and these questions I want to ask every person I interview just to,
Okay.
So the first one would be, what are some of the biggest mistakes you've made in your business?
Biggest mistakes that I've made in my business. I can tell you the biggest mistake is going back to when I said your level of success was capping my success. My business name is called Chasing Dreams, and I didn't practice that because I got to a level of success and I thought that I made it, and not only once I stopped trying to achieve more and do more, not only was I unhappy, but then I actually saw my business drop down quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say for anybody watching this, the hugest mistake that I've ever made is putting a cap on my success and being happy with where I was at.
Content.
Yeah, content, I guess. Exactly. So that's why I love the name Chasing Dreams for my business. One of my other mentors, everything was put on this earth to grow. So you're either growing or you're dying. Nothing really stays the same. I know you can get to a point where you can kind of level off and be happy, but yet you even look at people like Bill Gates, became the richest man in the world, conquered and conquered and conquered. Well, now what? Now he gives away more money than anybody else in history. Last I heard, I think he gave away $12 billion. So now his goal is he just wants to eradicate malaria from, Africa, you know what I mean? So, even looking, if you would look at, if money was success, the most successful person in the world still now has a different goal to see how much that he can give. So that's probably the biggest mistake that I've ever made. I can go through, we could go through another hour of mistakes that I've done. I want to leave this maybe on a positive note, but that's the biggest one that I've personally done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly is, how would you like people to remember you?
How would I like people to remember me? That's a great question. I think it'll change and it'll continue to change. But on the grander scale, I really want to look at people look back at me and to remember me as having a lot of joy in life and helping a lot of people. I want to be remembered as the person when I was around that I lifted you up and made you excited and made you happy and made you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that life is so much more than just success and the money. But, we all have those people when you call them up on the phone, you get a big smile and you get really excited because, they always uplift you and help you. And, really to look at, people look at me as somebody who really made a difference, whether it could be just on a small scale or a big scale. I'm only 32. I got a lot of work to do. But even if my life ended today, I want somebody to be able to look back and say, wow, he made a difference in my life, or he made a difference in my community, or a difference in my family. So I know that's probably a huge, big one to ask. How would you like people to remember you by? I probably could have thought about that question a little bit more, but really it's just somebody who made a difference, whether it's in just somebody's personal life or in the world, which I guess would be the ultimate goal, somebody like Bill Gates.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have for today. But thank you again for your time. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. It was an honor to do this interview with you. I've been seeing all your videos and you're very inspirational and I know motivating a lot of people out there. So when you asked me to do this, it was definitely my honor. So thank you so much, Amy.
Cool. Thank you. Well, that's it for today. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you on the next video.